Sound is on here as well.
Absolutely, and we are here at the opening of the latest incarnation of Star Tours with Anthony Daniels and his good friend C-3PO.
His good friend C-3PO is actually flying the Starspeeder 1000 as I speak. So I brought this little action figure to in honor of him and to remind me how I've spent 35 years of my life.
Yes, it's played such a huge role, and how has that really affected your life, going from something back in the 70s to kids of today loving it?
It is extraordinary that now we have 3 generations, and we're almost heading to the 4th, for heaven's sake. It's something I never thought would happen. I think even George is overwhelmed by the worldwide affection. And the great thing is, it's not just the movies, it's all sorts of spin-offs, and I don't mean just buying a DVD, I mean something like Star Tours, which carries on the story in a new way. I also narrate Star Wars in concert, and that tells the story back to the audience who already love the story very much. And I've been very lucky to have been given this part all these years, because there's something eternal about 3PO as the storyteller. We all love stories, and the story of Star Wars is the best.
It absolutely is, and he has the honor of being in all of the Star Wars movies.
He does, and I have the honor of being the only actor to be in all Star Wars movies. So between the two of us, we've got a lot of air miles here.
Yes, you do. And can you give us a little bit of your opinion of that wonderful new ride?
Star Tours, The Adventures Continue, is an extraordinary demonstration of modern technology. The fact that, for instance, the first ride, which was magical, was basically one storyline. You came, you did it again, and people did come over the years. Now, because of technology, we have 54 branching structures. So far, I've recorded lines for each one of them. It's kind of confusing, to be honest. But now I've written 3, and I already have one of my favorite scenes in there. I won't tell you which it is. Yeah, I will. It's the underwater one. Absolute magic. But I don't know where I'm going to go next. Because the funny thing about my brain is, although I still have the scripts, I've forgotten most of the lines. So I'm sitting there thinking, oh yeah, I remember saying that. Yes, I remember. And everybody laughing and so on. So the joy of this is that I've written it with customers, guests of Disney World, and real people getting to enjoy the thrill that was achieved by the animatronics people, the Tom Fitzgerald, the producer, the whole artistic bag of people who put this together. For you, sitting in your seat in the Starspeeder going, whoa, whoa, whoa. People, I was in there with the family, the kids, the parents, and the grandparents, each one of them screaming, laughing, yelling, go, no, look out, all that kind of thing. It's magic, because it's live. It really makes the movies come alive, especially with the 3D.
All right. Well, thank you so much for spending some time with us.
It's a real pleasure.
Thank you. Okay, we are here with Bill George, and as you can see, he's Visual Effects Supervisor, Industrial Light and Magic. And so Star Tours, that's everybody is here for that. And can you tell us what it was like bringing the Star Wars universe to that whole new reimagining?
It was so different than working on the Star Wars films because we had this whole level of the motion base that you ride with, and the fact that it was a branching storyline where you never know what launch, what detour, and what end you were going to have. So there was so much complexity to it. It's so jam-packed with detail and information and storytelling. It was kind of overwhelming at times.
And I heard you talking a little bit earlier, because of course we've seen all the worlds, and it's just everything everybody loves, like on Hoth, on Naboo. So it's not necessarily canon, it sounds like, because you kind of went for that fun factor and what everybody wants to see.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the point of going on the ride, right? You want to see these iconic moments from the film. And my feeling was that wasn't all that important, like the battle on Hoth. Did it fit exactly into that time? No. But if you're going to go to Hoth, that's what you want to see. You want to see the walkers. You want to see the rebel soldiers running away at the end of the battle, and then evacuating in the background. It's all there.
And I noticed that the fans are really appreciating it. Like Princess Leia, we were on with her. Star and the You're My Only Hope, everybody just broke into applause. So it looks like you did a lot of nods to the fans.
Well, absolutely. Like I said, it's those iconic moments that we all know and love. We wanted to echo those. At the same time, we wanted to take it to another level. There's a scene inside the Death Star where we dive down and you see what I always imagined was what was underneath Luke and Leia when they did the swing across. You never saw exactly what it was down there, and I wanted to show that. So it's something that's reminiscent of the original film, but also something new that you haven't seen before.
So they kind of gave you some leeway with creativity, it sounds like.
Oh, sure. And we ran everything past George. We met with him once a month, and he was instrumental in the storytelling. He was always very, very insistent that the audience be a part of what was going on, that you're not just sitting there and watching it, but that the audience was part of what was happening on the screen.
And it sounds like this is going to be one for the repeat riding. I know we've gone on many times just to see the different iterations, so you urge fans to keep coming and seeing what little things they'll notice next?
Absolutely, absolutely.
And do you have a favorite scene?
I really enjoyed the Death Star sequence and the Hoth sequence, because I'm kind of old school.
Fingers crossed.
I understand. Me too. Thank you so much.
Sure, thank you.
We are here at the Star Tours opening, and we've got Glen McIntosh of Industrial Light and Magic, the animation director. And can you tell us a little bit about what everybody can expect when they ride this wonderful new ride, or reimagined version, I should say, of an old favorite?
Well, what people can expect is the unexpected, but in the sense that each ride is completely different. But what people can expect is that if they're fans of Star Wars, and not just the new movies, but the traditional movies as well, there are iconic moments that, you know, as a fan myself, everyone who worked on it tried to put those iconic moments into the project and tweak them a little bit so that they're slightly different. I was very lucky that the Hoth planet was something that I got to animate, because when I was a young boy and I had seen those giant snowwalkers, the Hoth battle fired my imagination, and so to be able to dive into that world was a dream come true, and to be animating the snowwalkers, and then showing that to George, who inspired me to get into filmmaking, was something I never expected. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that had to be a dream come true. And what do you think that fans will most enjoy? Because I noticed there are a lot of nods to the old school fans, and I also noticed that the young kids were absolutely loving it too.
Yeah, we, as much as possible, we tried to create something for everyone, new and old. One of the highlights of my job as an animation director was that I actually, for a day, got to go up to the Lucasfilm archives and call that work. Well, I had always dreamed about going there anyway. But for reference, we were so concerned about the detail being correct that we went to the archives and we would get the original gauntlets that Darth Vader had worn, that David Prowse had worn for Empire Strikes Back, and then I would have someone put them on, the curator put them on, and I would photograph them from different angles, so that when you see Darth Vader in the movie, that's the Darth Vader that we wanted. From the Darth Vader we remembered, from The Empire Strikes Back, from Return of the Jedi, and as much as possible using the existing reference that we had at Skywalker Ranch at the Lucasfilm archives to make it as consistent with what I think the fans expect and what I think the fans deserve.
Absolutely, and the great thing is it seems like you've got the classic, but yet you've had a little bit of fun with the storyline, just to bring in all that good stuff that everybody wants to see.
Yeah, George always pushed the fun angle, like trying to make sure that it's fun, but also trying to put in little gags that the audience would get, but also being reverential to the original series and the new series.
All right, well, thank you so much for spending some time with us.
You're very welcome, and thank you for coming.
We are here with Susan Dain of Imagineering, and can you tell us a little bit about what you worked on this great new incarnation of Star Tours?
Well, for the Star Tours attraction, I am the art director and production designer. and had an opportunity to help create that environment that should immerse you into the ride before you even get to go on the ride.
Oh, and that is so, people are loving the queue line. I don't want to leave the queue line. How did you get the ideas for that environment to kind of create that so it would engage people on that level?
Well, we have a great creative team at WDI. Everything is collaborative. We had a terrific concept designer. His name is Scott Drake. I work with Scott Drake, and we took his concepts and I developed them into like solid show sets of basically how do we make this feel like you're in a spaceport, like you're actually leaving Earth and going into a spaceport and you're about to go on all these great adventures.
And I love how you have the little details, like you can see the people walking by, the little shadows. I could just stand there and watch that forever. And so you just kind of had that little inspiration, like, you know, things people would really see if they were really going into the universe.
And basically what we did is we made it sort of a spaceport version of an airport. So it is, the queue line makes you feel like you're going into an airport. You start out with the brand new Starspeeder 1000, fresh off of the plant, and it looks fabulous. And then as you go through security, as you would in an airport. We have our droid security area, we have our luggage checker who has a fantastic personality, who will be going through your bags and trying to make sure that you're not bringing anything you shouldn't be onto the Starspeeder. And then you actually even go through security, a droid security agent that will check you and scan you to make sure you're not carrying anything you shouldn't be carrying.
Yes.
So it's a futuristic version of what you experience in an airport.
Yes, in the luggage, I notice you see a few little nods to the Disney fans in that luggage scanning.
Yes, we do. We've had put a lot of things in there to, people like to come to these attractions over and over, and we like to make sure that they have something different to see each time. So, and they do know the property so well, so we do have a lot of gags for the Disney fans.
And I noticed familiar voices too on the TSA droid, maybe somebody that we recognize from a few Disney cartoons.
Yes, the TSA, the human scanning droid.
Yes, I kind of, Patrick is one of my favorites, so I loved hearing that. Well, thank you so much for chatting with us. I really appreciate it.
Okay, well, thank you very much. It was my pleasure.